university level is Kate Evans. I'm so proud of Howard. I don't know what we're going to do without him. It'll take 3 or 4 students to make Ms. Evans.
So I have the pleasure to teach immigration law and lead the immigration clinic at the University of Idaho College of Law. And so I've nominated a few students at this point for this award. The student this year who's receiving it, this is my 3rd year here, and so she's been with me at Moscow for my entire time, and I remember her from the start as somebody who was ready to push up their sleeves and get in to the business of helping other people with her newly acquired law skills from the minute she landed on campus. Her first year, she helped lead an annual project to Eastern Washington in an agricultural community in Othello, Washington, where the university raises donations for clothes, for food, diapers, formula, all kinds of materials, as well as then partnering with local nonprofits to educate the community and provide resources on workers' rights, wage and hour rights, tenant protections, and immigration. And so we often provide presentations on Know Your Rights and do consultations about people's immigration status and questions and how to protect themselves and what to be prepared for. From the very beginning, at her first year in law school, she went above and beyond in organizing this and translating all the materials and making copies and getting the donations there and organizing the cars and making sure that the 100 people who showed up that afternoon got the services and supplies that they needed. She did that again her 2L year and took on a leadership role in that work and is already, we've just had a conversation about what it will look like this year. And now she's in charge of that entire project and making sure that we are doing what we can in these communities that are very vulnerable. In the clinic, she started, you can't be a member of the clinic until your 3rd year. However, that didn't keep her away. And so she volunteered last year to help a 15-year-old boy who'd been abandoned in Washington and then had moved to Idaho by his parents, by his mother. He fled Mexico after his father had been shot on their front porch. He narrowly escaped being killed himself. Came to the United States with his mom and was abandoned once they got here. She helped do the translations, prepare everything for family court to get him a guardian with his aunt, and we worked with the Northwest Immigrant Rights Project to supply them with the necessary sort of state court proceeding to keep him from being deported and allow him to find protection here. This year, she's taken on independently getting the green card, the lawful permanent residence status for a woman, the first client that I had in Idaho. She also was abandoned by her parents, had come into Idaho at age 16 from Honduras after 15 years of some pretty awful abuse. Found her father only to be abused again, left that home, and we again helped her both with the protecting her against deportation through getting her asylum and making sure that she had a guardian that could care for her while she was here. This student this year had the great pleasure of taking this young woman from a situation of incredible vulnerability to actually being just months away from permanent lawful status in the United States. The student's, I think, crowning achievement, though, was this December, when amid finals, she spent endless hours coordinating interviews by the U.S. Department of Labor into the human trafficking and involuntary servitude that 3 of our clients have been put into. They were trafficked from California to Washington to pick blueberries amid horrible conditions. They were not fed. One of their coworkers died on the job. They escaped the farm to be helped out by community leaders on the west coast of Washington. And so the U.S. Department of Labor it's undergoing an investigation into the employers and the unlawful practices by those employers to bring these workers here and to traffic them. And so a number of those workers, though, had to go home after they escaped their farm. And so this student had to arrange Skype interviews in really remote areas of Mexico, working with the local cafe, teaching people how to download Skype, setting up all kinds of arrangements, working with the wives, the neighbors, everybody to make sure that the U.S. Department of Labor could conduct the investigations that they needed into the unlawful practices by their employers so that these individuals could potentially get a form of protection based on their status as victims of quite brutal crimes. So I sat back, and this is something that I never would have been able to pull off myself, and we would have had a real problem getting these men the justice that they deserved. And so listening to her conversations with them and seeing the comfort that they had with her and the relief that they had after 2 years to finally be able to tell people what happened to them and to finally listen to people, both their attorneys and the U.S. government, who cared about what happened to them. And then to hear her clients call her Moni, just like her family does. And so Monica Ontiveros, please come up and accept your award.
Especially all the professors. My mentor here, Kate, I really do consider her as a mentor. Professor Seaman as well. I really do look up to those professors. They've really pushed me, and I couldn't be more proud of all the work that I've done and all the clients that I have worked with. I think the biggest reward for me is seeing all the clients that I help with a smile or calling me by my simple family name, which is Moni, short for Monica. So that is what I'm really proud of when I go and work with all these individuals. So thank you so much, Professor Evans and Professor Seaman.